And people who don't necessarily feel one way or the other, they have to switch to a plural pronoun, they, them, which I can understand some resistance to it because it's not natural in the grammar
Yes,
of
definitely.
English. It's not natural to the grammar. But in Thai, you know, ฉัน คุณ ท่าน เธอ เรา เขา these are not gendered. These are not gendered pronouns. So it's very easy for people to be gender neutral when referring to somebody else,
Right.
right? But then when you refer to yourself, you can pick whatever you want, right? Welcome to the Fireside. I'm Benjamin Rujopakarn.
And I'm Suphanida Janmoon. Every week we have a fireside chat exploring what's going on in Thailand, diving deep into our latest obsessions.
This week, we're celebrating the passing of the Marriage Equality Act. Can I have a round of applause here?
Yay!
We go over some key points of the act, and we talk about Thailand's cultural relationship with sexuality and gender.
Yeah, of course, Thailand's Marriage Equality Act, effective from January the 22nd of 2025 this year, the first Southeast Asian nation and the third in Asia, and also Bangkok Pride. Have you ever heard or you have participated in it? And also BMA are organizing a mass wedding to celebrate the law's implementation.
That's right. We actually are joining a list of 37 countries worldwide that have legalized same-sex marriage. So I feel like we're finally entering like a progressive era of Thailand.
Yeah,
you know?
that's why we should cheer for. So there are some Thailand people in Thailand's opinion about it, thinking about what it should be or how is it to be getting into having this law in our country. So from 2022, NIDA poll shows that LGBTQ plus acceptance is improving, with 9 in 10 Thais accepting LGBTQ plus people as friends, colleagues, and family members.
Yeah, I think that pretty much tracks with what my personal experience is. I don't really see that, you know, having a gay colleague or a gay friend or a gay family member is that big a deal. I think that when it's other people, people are very accepting. I think that there is a little bit of a resistance when it's your own family member. But by and large, I think Thai people are very understanding and they're very open-minded. I think compared to like my experiences in other countries, I think.
Yeah, that's my experience as well. But for some people, I don't know, but I don't know much about people who against LGBTQ plus. But I have heard that in their family, their own family, maybe it is it's quite difficult to come out.
Yeah.
And tell their own family members that they are gay or LGBTQ.
Yeah. My friend had a long sort of struggle with whether or not to come out. It's not really my story to share, but at the end of the day, it was kind of a happy ending. So I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can totally understand, Thailand in some ways is very conservative, but in other ways, like the sort of attitude towards what we call the third gender or, transgender. Transgender women usually is what the third gender refers to in Thailand.
Yeah, so it's kind of indirectly exclude them.
Yeah, it's. I think Thai people can be very preoccupied with who are you and identifying what checkbox you or what box you fit into. So we look at this other poll, this more recent poll by YouGov, which digs into some differences between the population. And the NIDA poll is very kind of broad and it averages across the respondents. But here we see that there's much greater actually support among women. 81% of women in the 2024 YouGov poll supported same-sex marriage, but 67% among men supported it. So it's still pretty high. It's still the majority
Yeah.
for both, not to take anything away from the men. And women were more likely to express positive emotions than men. 37% of females felt happy compared to just 26% of males. And so the way the poll works is they had you like, how do you feel? Like specifically, do you feel hopeful? Do you feel happy? You know, so they had all these adjectives or these emotions to describe.
Yeah.
And then Gen Z, obviously very predictable in my opinion, showed the highest level of happiness and pride. And millennials, that's me,
Me
were
too.
more hopeful than others about this development. So there's a lot of
Yeah. We like in the middle of the old generation and new generation, and
That's how I feel,
we
yeah.
are like we see both opinions. Also, we know that Thailand is a country of Buddhism.
Yes,
And
that's
we
right.
have influence of Buddhism on Thai perspectives as well. It's hard to measure Thai people's view on this issue in Western terms of conservative and the progressive, because some of the progressive views come from the traditional place. But for Thai people, religious, I would say. So I would say that Buddhism is a major part of Thai society and has played an important role.
Yes, very.
And Buddhist scripture, พระไตรปิฎก as you might have heard about it, does refer the four different genders: male, female, อุปโตพยัญชนก and บันดา
Right.
It's not the word that we use in daily life, but
Yeah.
there are only four.
They're like Bali terms. Is that right? They're like Bali or Sanskrit terms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Why these don't 100% align with the more modern categories of sexuality, LGBTQIA+. So it's like queer. We say it as queer.
Yeah, that's right. That would be the easiest.
Which is a person, sexuality or gender expression is not considered inherently sinful. So I understand that it might be hard for some people who is religious and adhere พระไตรปิฎก in their daily life, especially older generation.
Yeah. But I think what's, not to like create divisiveness in terms of religion, but I think that, us being a Buddhist majority society, it really creates a foundation for acceptance, because we have this sort of, we have a concept of a gender theory that isn't just strictly heteronormative. It's not just male, female, straight.
Yeah.
And so we're more open-minded to the idea that people are actually born this way. And, and this is who they are. This is their identity. And, there is an inherent acceptance like that, to not try to force them to be one way or the other.
Yeah, but I didn't say that religious people are always against LGBTIQ+, but this is a pronoun in พระไตรปิฎก. But in Thai pronoun, do you have any research about it?
You know what? There wasn't much to have to research because like we use Thai all the time, but it just, like in the States or elsewhere, because English is automatically gendered in their pronouns, he, she, him, her.
Yeah.
And people who don't necessarily feel one way or the other, they have to switch to a plural pronoun, they, them, which I can understand some resistance to it because it's not natural in the grammar.
Yes, definitely.
Of English. It's not natural to the grammar. But in Thai, ฉัน คุณ ท่าน เธอ เรา เขา these are not gendered. These are not gendered pronouns. So it's very easy for people to be gender neutral when referring to somebody else. Right? But then when you refer to yourself, you can pick whatever you want, right? You can say ผม you can say หนู right? So it's easier to refer to, do you say หนู?
There are so many levels in Thai pronoun, but as you clarify that there is no not much of gender.
Yeah. I think when referring
we
to
have
yourself,
none,
that's
actually.
different.
we have lon, but I don't think
Lon.
that people say that. But when I read the grammar book Thai English, she means lon. But actually, we don't use lon in Thai language. We just use cow.
A lot of my friends or that are girls will refer to me as nang.
Nang.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh,
Like-
nang is like
Like
this.
third
Nang is.
person, like another person.
Oh yeah, they'll refer to me.
Ah,
You know, like when you say like you talk about your guy friends, it's like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
นางเขาเป็นแบบนี้ or you know.
I think it's a modern era
Yeah,
pronoun
yeah.
already, but it's fun. Yeah, it's a good one.
So what I wanted to talk about is just the fact that Thai versus English, there's not a lot of opportunity to misgender somebody else because because the gender only comes into the pronoun when you refer to yourself, right? But there are, like, in researching this, there are a lot of different terms for gender, not in the pronoun itself, but there's a lot of different terms for polysexuality, which means being attracted to multiple genders. So the straight ones are male and female. Then if you go into the lesbian ones, it's lesbian, tom gay king, tom gay queen, tom two-way, and D. That's a lot. That's a lot of different pronouns for all the different lesbians and who you're attracted to. Like
Yeah.
with tom gay king, you're a dominant. With tom gay queen, you're submissive. But to other tomboys, you know, so, and you'll notice that, like, these are all English words. So it's kind of interesting that, like, English loan words have really flourished in this space to talk about gender and sexuality in a modern way. We also have gay king, gay queen. One that you might not be familiar with, and I definitely wasn't when I was looking this up. Bold and bright, which is Bold is a versatile man who is attracted to women, gay king and gay queen, but not trans women. And bright is a woman who's attracted to other women, tomboys, and men. So there's all these different terms for the different sexualities, and there's an inherent, like, it's in the public consciousness that you can be polysexual, you can be attracted to multiple genders.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just bisexual, right?
So yeah, there are 18 genders, but as I can see, I can categorize this as a sexual preference
Yeah.
because they are categorized by how people have feeling or be attracted to somebody. So yeah, this is very interesting.
Yeah, the terms, they kind of combine the gender and the sexuality. There's not a strict division. Like, it describes what gender you identify as, and then who you're attracted to in the same term, right? And I gotta say, like, I think it's too specific. I think in my experience, people change. You know,
Yeah.
I think people are more fluid than they like to admit.
Yeah.
And I don't think that, you know, I think if you identify as one thing, it doesn't mean that you can't discover something about yourself down the line.
Yeah, of course. And from my experience, I have ever questioned myself as cherry.
Yeah.
Because that's a long time ago when I just have a crush on a guy who I thought he was gay.
Right.
But he looked so good, and I'm so attracted
just
to him.
impeccable.
So I am cherry. That was
He
my
was
thought.
bad.
So yeah, but I'm not. It just depends on people you are attracted to or people you are interested.
Sometimes it's just people. Sometimes it's just the person, you know? Like,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You don't have to overcomplicate, you know, liking someone, right?
Yeah. Okay, so what about you? What do you think, and what has been your experience with Thai culture and the LGBTQ plus community? You can leave us on the comments in the comment section.
That's right. And next week, we'll be looking at LGBTQ plus representation in Thai media. That's going to be really exciting. I did a lot of research and a lot of YouTube
Yeah.
for this. So be sure to share, to like, to subscribe, to support more conversations by the Fireside.
I'm so excited for the next upcoming episode. So see you guys next time.